Hey everybody, well, thank you all for tuning in. We have a great show for you tonight. I am still your host, Xavia Fox.
What's happening, y'all? It is so nice to be back.
So our next question on the agenda is, this comes from Mr. O'Kara Hollis. And you know, the funny thing about it is, the two gentlemen on the panel actually originally had the same topic. And what was that question, O'Kara?
My question is that why is it so hard to resolve conflicts with women?
Why is it so hard to resolve conflict?
Can I answer that?
Well, we already had a problem with you already.
Callers, I got this one. Okay, you ain't got to. You can hang up. I got it.
Don't hang up, dog.
I mean, don't hang up. But I got this one.
As y'all can see,
Yep.
my point.
First of all, you guys don't listen. You don't retain information well. We got to keep, anytime somebody fuss and holler and screaming, that means they're not being heard, their needs aren't being met. So, and it's so simple, just do what she say. Nobody have to keep hearing it over and over again. That's why nothing is resolved. You know, you don't listen.
Okay. My response to that is this, is that it's hard to solve a problem when you really don't know what the problem is, because a lot of women tend to, first of all, they hold it in. Second of all, once they begin to talk, they don't even let you know right away what the problem is.
We don't keep nothing on show. You know, we talk. We tell you what's the matter. You know,
You'll be mad.
women callers, you know that we tell you up front.
You don't
We tell you
tell
over
us.
and over again. Y'all listen. It goes over your head. We say take the garbage out. I tell you all over again.
Hold on.
Let me say my thing.
Go ahead.
Even
No,
with directions in the car,
So-
we tell you over. No, you don't want to listen.
Normally, when you are complaining about us not taking the garbage out, it's because you have a problem about something else. We think it's about the garbage, but really it's about something else.
No, it's piling on.
So, what are we supposed to do? Now, you say that we don't listen. Are we supposed to listen to nothing? I mean, because we gotta, if your facial expressions are telling us that there's a problem, but you're not saying nothing,
Okay, what about
so
the
how are
ones
we
that's
not
saying something?
listening?
What are the ones that's saying something? What are the ones that's telling you what the problem is and you still don't do it?
Is it a valid problem, or is it because she's upset about something that happened at work?
Okay, have
Or
you
something.
have you ever had somebody to tell you something and you just didn't listen? Don't lie.
I mean, it depends on what it is. I mean,
I'm
we
giving you
all,
an example.
and I'm giving you one.
So,
It depends
answer that
on
first.
what it is that we're talking about. Now, if he's talking you mad because you got your nails messed up, soon as you left out of the doggone nail shop. Oh
Ain't
man.
nobody
I think y'all,
I mean,
y'all
it's-
pissing some folks off over here because
it's
the phone
just-
line
it's
is
But you
just-
know what?
up.
But you know what? Men are so, oh my God, they're little kids. If you tell them don't do
Now,
nothing,
why we gotta be little
look,
kids?
if you tell them don't do nothing, they're gonna do it. So you gotta reverse it. You know.
Oh my.
If you don't want them to cheat, you know, be like, you know what, go cheat. Go do something.
Oh
like,
no! If you tell us to go cheat,
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. No,
we
you
gonna
won't.
go cheat.
No, you won't. Y'all do the opposite of what we tell y'all.
Let's bring a caller on in on this. I see one of my girls in queue. I'm gonna bring Miss Tish in on the conversation. Miss Tish, can you hear me? Are you there?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, awesome. So my belief as to why we can't resolve conflict is we don't have conflict resolution agreements up front. So meaning if I have a relationship with my guy and I watch and learn how he interacts or how he resolves conflict on his own, I think it's my responsibility to say up front, okay, here is a situation, and when we get into this situation, I'd like you to tell me in this fashion, or I'd like you to pull me on the carpet, not in front of family and friends and everybody when we get home. Whatever it takes to set up that conflict resolution agreement to begin in the beginning, I think that would be a big help, and people don't do that. They just come to the table with whatever they normally do when they get into some type of uncomfortable situation. And I think, secondly, someone was that Keith that said, what do you want us to do, listen to nothing? Although we laughed at it, it really was a valid point. I really don't want you to listen to nothing, but if I'm a poor communicator of my emotions, thoughts, or feelings, I may need you, my partner, to help pull or draw those things out of me. So when I start rambling on about the garbage and I know it's something else, you ought to be intuitive enough after dating and interacting with me long enough to see, okay, this really ain't about that. Okay, just pull me to the carpet. Hey, I need you to get to the root cause of what's really, really wrong. Because when I've had people do that to me, it forces me to really think about what I'm communicating versus what I really mean and what I really need. And I think if people were more accountable in their communication pieces up front, guys wouldn't have to worry about listening to us rambling on about our nails and garbage and skirts and silly stuff, when we could really get to the core of what the issue is, so we can get closer to the resolution, so we can all be happy later.
Well, we got a few. The men are over here fighting on who gonna say something to you first. So
Tish, it was you. You were correct in saying that it was me saying that. What are we supposed to do? Listen to nothing. Now you said that we have to pull it out of you. Why would we have to pull it out of you when you already know what your problem is? If you tell us right away, instead of us standing there and guessing, and then we say something wrong, which that's not it, then that creates another problem, when all you have to do is say, baby, you did this that I didn't appreciate you doing. And then we can come and fix the problem. Then we happy. But if we got to pull it out of you, then that's taking 4, 5, 6. I'm tired now. I don't want to even talk about it no more. So there's no need to even talk about it, but you're still going to be upset about it, and upset at the fact that I'm not caring enough to pull this out of you, as you say, your words, pull it out of you. I don't feel like pulling anything out of you. I want you to tell me, if you love me enough to tell me that you had a good day, then love me enough to tell me that something's wrong, something I did. Because I don't want, if there's something wrong with me, I'm going to tell you, because you're going to see it on my face, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. Dang it, I didn't like the way you folded the towels in the bathroom. I'm going to tell you. Don't let me have to pull it out of you, because the communication problem gets worse. It doesn't get better. And longer you let that proceed, it's going to get worse and worse. And then what do you have? You're almost out of a relationship. You have nothing now. So,
the one thing that I want to say is, I think that a lot of times the problem is that before someone decides to say something, they have already let certain things compound. So by the time that they say something, the tone in which they speak is of a tone of either anger or irritation. Now, the response to anger or irritation is going to be defensiveness by the other person.
True.
And so now you've already created a situation where you got two people, one person who's angry and being aggressive, another person who is defending themselves. And because of that type of tone, no one is really listening. Everybody is really just waiting for the next thing that they want to say. So I think that it could all be resolved is at the point of contact. If, let's say, you are not angry or of, irritation, then you already speak to whatever it is that you don't like and resolve that. But I think that people need to, when they decide they're going to talk to somebody, they need to have the thought in their head that I am coming here to actually solve a problem, not to just get some emotion off my chest. If you want to solve a problem, then speak to the person in the tone in which a problem can be solved, and you can get the outcome that you truly desire. But if you're just saying something just to say something, which I think a lot of women do, is a lot of women sometimes they just want to have an emotional outlet.
Well, you know
and
what?
So they start to speak and they become emotional, and before you
I
know
wanted to say emotional people, take the women out of that, because
Thank you.
it's not always women, it's
I'm
emotional men.
going to say this. See, I can't judge how men in relationships resolve conflict with each other because I don't date men. So I'm going to say women. Now y'all can say men do that if y'all want to. But since I date women, I'm going to say I think that women, maybe not all of them, Not
Yeah, you
every
can say
single,
that, Dave.
not every single woman
Dave.
I've ever dated has done that. But I will say that a great number of the ones that I have dated, that's what they do. They just, sometimes they come with this emotional, they just want to
Maybe
get
you.
it out. It could be me. But regardless.
But I agree, because I think that, you know, I'm a communicator, and if I see a problem, you know, I try to get it the first time with respect. You know, you talk about it. You don't wait till, you know, it happens 10 times, because then you're not gonna talk. You're gonna blow up. And a lot of people, women, men, or whatever, they don't talk anymore. They don't communicate. They fuss, and men don't hear you when you're fussing. You know,
That's
just
true.
like when they want something from us, when they want something, you know what it is, don't they be nice and sweet? That's the way you got to talk to them when you want something. You know, you want something done. You got to, you know, talk
And
in
you
a
done.
respectful way.
And y'all done. Y'all done, right?
So
You know
Tish,
what?
oh, you done? What you done?
He brutally interrupted. See what I'm talking about, y'all? See, I'm irritated now, but I'm trying to hold it.
Oh, okay.
And Tish, I want to say this to you real quick. I used to use this thing when I would get into it with my ex-girlfriend. A reaction creates, a action creates a reaction. If you are having a problem with me and you're not telling me, my action is going to be diverted towards you. Now I'm mad because you're upset about what's going on with you. That's why we have to have nothing but communication. Communication fixes every situation, I believe. Every situation. Communicate. That's all we got to do.
All right. So Miss Tish, you got anything else? The phone lines are lit up. I'm gonna get somebody else on, but I'm gonna let you say one more thing if you need to. What you got? What's on your mind?
The only thing I was going to say was, again, my proposal to the situation was that the communication happened, and to alleviate some of the drawing out and pulling out or whatever, would be to have a communication agreement up front. So that way, if both parties agree to however they need to talk to each other to get the information out, and they hold each other accountable, then you wouldn't be in the situation of pulling things out when people can just simply say it.
But if you,
Okay, well, thanks.
That's not
Thank you for that input,
If
Miss
you're not
Tish.
used to that,
We're gonna bring another caller on the line. I see that the panelists are really discussing some stuff.
oh,
We gonna talk about this again at the end once we get all these callers in here.
I agree with Tish when she said that there needs to be some type of conversation had before the conflict, or how do we handle conflict together as a couple. And I totally agree with O'Kara and what he was saying. You have to have rules with conflict resolution. You can't get into your feelings, meaning don't take things personally. No name calling, no degradation. That's how you handle conflict in a relationship, in a mature relationship. You get to the problem, not, call each other out each other's name, or talking when you're upset and, emotions are very high. If you need to say, look, we need to table this, come back when we're both calm, and let's talk about the actual issue, what's going on, then that's what needs to be done. And that's how conflict is handled in a mature relationship between the two. And you definitely have to have effective communication to be able to say and hold yourself accountable and say, I'm too pissed off right now and I'm going to say something stupid. And I don't want that to be what we start talking about. I want us to get to the bottom of what needs to be talked about. So I'm going to step away and I'm going to go in the other room and relax myself so that I can come back to the table clear-headed, ready to talk about the real issue and not taking things personally, because everything isn't about you.
I agree.
Like that.
I agree with that too.
So you guys were talking about something down there on the end. What were you two saying?
I was saying how people are going to be who they are before they get to you. So if they have bad communication skills, you can have all the agreements in the world. It's not going to help. But, I mean, and if that's how they are anyway, a good communicator, then you don't need the agreement. But, I mean, you can propose an agreement, but a lot of times it's best to show them, and maybe help them with the communication. But agreement is not gonna, it just sounds so good, like too good to be true, like we just have to have agreement and then, all of a sudden everything gonna come together.
Question for Tish, and if I'm not mistaken, she was the one with the agreement.
Yes.
When do you talk about this agreement? During the course of your dating?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, look, because I was,
that.
I'm sorry, I was on the other side of her because I actually like the agreement idea. And because I just kind of tell a quick story. Whenever I date someone, the one thing I cannot stand is I cannot stand if someone talks to me, like talks down to me or talk to me in a certain kind of way. So whenever it's done, the first thing I would always say to them is I would say, hey, listen, I don't appreciate when people talk to me like that. Now, I will promise you I would never talk to you like that. But if that is, who you are, then let me know, and then I got a decision to make. But I would always be upfront, and so I think that what Tish is saying with the agreement is that when you notice something about a person, and if you notice that it doesn't kind of, coincide with what it is that you are about, then you say to them, hey, listen, I see you may solve your conflicts in this way, and maybe that way is screaming or arguing this or whatever, and you say, you know what, listen, that doesn't work for me. So why don't we agree? This is what works for me, and because of what the outcome, what you want the outcome to be. I think that if somebody is mature enough and is genuinely interested in being with you, what makes sense they'll do. Now, obviously, there may be times of slippage, but I think that is something that is good to put out there in order to have an effective conflict resolution. When you go through conflicts, I don't see any problem with that. I think that's a good idea.
Well, let's see let's see if we understood it right. Tish, did he get your agreement?
Holistic Harmony Inc. is a solution-focused therapy agency with 100% satisfaction in building passionate, quality relationships. We offer individual, couples, and group sessions with licensed therapists. No topic is off limits because we believe in real talk. Contact us today to schedule your appointment at 773-420-9572. Visit us on the web at holisticheharmonyinc.biz. We don't counsel you, we cultivate you.
If you've ever dreamed of becoming an entrepreneur and don't know where to start, The Entrepreneur Within You by Julie Holloway is a must-read. Holloway and 17 co-authors share advice and inspiration that can save you from serious business blunders. So purchase your copy today on Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. The Entrepreneur Within You. Empowering, equipping, inspiring.
Let me just kind of answer Chief's question and get to briefly how it came about. I think the answer is yes, it's done in the dating process because as you're forming the relationship, you're going to be interacting and communicating with one another. So at some point, when the lovey-dovey time frame is over, you're going to get to the real core of who you are as people. And real quickly with me, I was dating a gentleman who was very easy to express his emotions, and I was the complete opposite of that. And so we were having conflict, but he finally paid attention and realized a lot of it was because I wasn't expressing my emotion enough and my thought enough. And then he just said, why don't you? And he hammered at me until I finally came out to the core of why I don't express my emotions. When I told him and he understood it, then he said, okay, I want to work through this with you, and we need to be able to get you over this hump because I'm going to keep expressing, I'm going to keep showing, and you've got to meet me there because you're getting all of me and I'm getting nothing from you, and it's not fair. So because I cared about him and it was logical and it made sense to me, then I had to come clean. And so we made an agreement. If I need to express an emotion to you or a feeling to you, I need you to make me feel safe enough to be able to do it, and in time I will learn how to be more free with you in that. And he said, okay, then when you need me to listen, then I will, sit down and we can talk about it or whatever. So he gave me a platform to start expressing my emotion without the fear, because up until this point, I had rarely ever done it unless I was angry. That was the only thing that I could clearly express with no fear. So we came to the agreement, and then I just realized it could trickle over into other areas. If we out grocery shopping and I don't like the way you picked up something and threw it in the cart, then I'm not going to blast you right there at the store. We're going to talk about it later. So we just learned to figure out what works. And a big part of it is we agreed on how to communicate with each other. I guess, I don't know, this probably happened 4 or 5 incidents dealing, but he just figured it out, and then I just, we picked it up, we figured it out together.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Tish.
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I just tuned in. I'm sorry I'm late to the discussion. I just picked up. Can you just recap what the sister was saying? Something about after the lovey-dovey is over and not blasting somebody in the supermarket.
Well, she was saying that she thinks that having a communication agreement so that when things go wrong, you already know how to communicate with each other. The question is, why is it so difficult to resolve conflict in a relationship with women? So a couple of the women have chimed in on suggestions on how men can solve conflict in the relationship with them. You know, of course, our host panelist over here, she said that men, y'all don't listen no way. So,
oh, not just like that. Come on. I explained it.
And so,
but that's basically what she said.
What's your comment, caller?
Pretty much.
Okay, I think the first thing is in a relationship. I think the first thing. Let's address this part. Too many times, what we go after is the romantic portion first, and then try to become friends. When actually it's the reverse. The foundation is you got to be friends before you be anything.
I agree.
Then the romance will come out of the friendship that has developed. And in that, and see, here's the other part of it. People don't know how to court.
Thank you.
Wait, come on. That's
One of the problems.
We go to the next question. Thank you.
The woman courting the man.
Yeah.
Then when they get into the relationship, I don't understand why this doesn't work. Why? He don't listen to me. Oh, she's this and that. Well, first of all, let's look at how the relationship started from the beginning. No woman should be courting no man.
Amen, brother.
So that's the first thing. So the woman has to learn what it is to be a woman.
Exactly.
The man has to learn what it is to be a man. Now, you got to understand that a woman is wired a certain way. So in the courting process, you should be getting an understanding of how she operates, how God has wired her.
We are definitely agreeing with you, Carl.
No, we're not.
Who is we?
Okay, well, the women on the panel, we are agreeing with you. I agree with you 100%. I believe that it should start out as a friendship, because my relationship started out as a friendship. And what that did is when we get into it, we still are friends. I still have a blast with him. I still love him as a friend. So even if I'm pissed off at him as my man, my friend is still there. You know, and I can't just throw my friend away. You know, you keep your friends.
Oh, stop.
Whatever. But I also totally agree with the whole women court men, and you got to look at how the whole thing started, because men do, and that actually is going to be one of the questions that we discussed tonight in a very few minutes, why men don't court women anymore. And somebody else gave me an answer to that earlier in the week, but we're going to let that question come out. But I totally agree with you, caller.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And I think that, you know, for example, I hear brothers, and what's worse when I hear a bunch of old heads talking about, hey, what's up, baby? Ooh, shorty, you looking good. Shorty, let me get that number.
Hello, old head.
And you 40, 50 years old. Sit down.
Hold on. Hold on. What's his name?
Young sister that was behind the counter.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
That whole situation is you anyway.
Well, what are you doing
Then you
now?
get in a relationship, then you, I don't understand why it doesn't work. Again, we got to look at how we building these relationships. When they're built on shaky ground, you cannot expect for it to stand. But if it's built on it,
you got the men on the panel riled up. I think they got a little something they want to say to you.
Hey, bro, let me ask you something, man. You probably in your middle 30s, because when you use the word old head, I mean, you kind of taking it back, bro. And I know I'm an old head because I am an old head. And I don't speak to young girls like that because I have daughters. But as of having someone younger than me, I don't think there's a problem with 20, 25, 20, that right there, there's no way that they can be mature enough for me, okay? But as in being able to speak to a woman, and this courting thing about women courting men, I mean, I don't consider women courting men. I believe that women have a certain type of man that they want to talk to, but a lot of men are so, what word am I want to use, intimidated by certain women. So when women go approach this man that she wants to talk to, I don't consider that as a courting thing, because then they come together. That man is getting confidence because this woman that he once was intimidated by, she's interested in him. Now he can begin the courting process.
Let me ask you, do he mean being aggressive? Women are being aggressive? When he mean courting?
All right.
Well, you know, women are courting men now. They fine.
You mean aggressive?
Being aggressive.
Okay, so you wanted women's lib, you wanted to vote.
I wasn't down there. I didn't get
That's why it's not working.
These things. So
But you
what's
know what?
wrong with it being vice versa?
No, that's why it's not working. No, that's why it's not working.
It's everything the man got to do for you.
I got a question.
No, I mean, that's why it's not working.
It's traditional.
God laws don't change. Man laws are changing. That's why it's not working.
I have a question about this courting thing. Does anybody actually know what courting means and what it is and the definition of it? Because I keep hearing people say, well, why don't they court? Actually, courting is when people date under the supervision of someone else.
No, that's not what courting is.
Yes, it is. Look it up. Look it up.
I did.
I looked it up too. That's what it said. Look it up. When I looked it up,
they laid it out, and it had nothing to do with nobody else.
When I looked it up,
when you say somebody else, like parents?
Parents. That's what it. That's what. Wait, come on.
No,
listen. I know that's the point.
Courting is dating with the specific intent to marry. It's dating with a purpose, as opposed to dating just for sexual satisfaction.
Listen. When courting first started,
White people brought that courting up.
You talking about arranged?
Listen, no.
We're gonna go with her. Let's go with her.
Listen, even in America, when courting first started, it started under the supervision of parents, because little boys or men will come to women's houses and they will sit there.
A little boy ain't coming.
I said men will come to a woman's house.
You say men, how old are these?
Your parents might be dead, so how you gonna have
18, 22, 21.
Okay, we're gonna go with what's
when
her
they first
definition.
listen,
Let's go with her
when they first came, and it was all for the intent of marriage.
Right.
Now, right.
That's what courting is, but
And
not
it was
under
all-
supervision.
Wait, that's what it started under the supervision. It started under supervision.
That's if you're a kid.
When it first
When you
came
in
about,
You grown, your mama and them ain't got nothing to do with it.
Okay, come on, we spent too
when
much
first,
time.
anyway,
That's right.
Let's go about her definition.
anyway,
Let's go about her definition.
Anyway, nowadays, men are not to meet a woman with the intent of marriage. It's almost ludicrous unless you know her previously before that. You don't come up to strangers with the intent of marriage. So when you go up to a stranger, you have the intent to date.
That's why you start off as friends.
Right.
You can't be friends with everybody you meet.
Okay, well if you can't be their friend, you
don't
sure
date
hell can't
them.
marry
Right.
them.
Listen, if you friends with a person, if you're friends with a person, then you start telling them like your secrets. You start telling them what you're doing with other women, what you're doing, what they're doing, or whatever.
Yep.
And
When you say best friend, we say friend.
no, when you friends, that's what friends do.
Not best friend. You tell all your friends about all your little secrets.
You have a friendship like
Like a best friend and
situation where you get to know each other. But when you consider your friends with somebody who down the line you are looking to date, That's I don't. It can work, but I don't. It can work.
It does work.
It can happen.
It works.
It can happen, but that is not. But that's not a normal situation, though.
It's not
supposed to be
it should be
right.
normal.
Exactly. That's supposed to be your boy. That's your boy, right? That can be your boy as well as your man. That's the type of relationship that
Okay, wait. What do you mean by your boy? That means
that's
you
like
tell
your dude. That's like
everything. You don't tell your boy it turns into your man. Everything, because he's gonna.
I didn't say that. See why he going up? I ain't said that. I didn't even say that.
You said your boy.
It's a man.
Did she not
but
say
I
that?
didn't say go off and tell him everything. I'm saying the type of friendship. You should have that type of friendship, like this is my boy. You should be able to talk to him and communicate. And
talk to him meaning what?
Listen, and to be in a relationship, you have to have to be in an effective or a good relationship, yes, you have to have a friendship. And there are times when relationships could come out of friendships. But when you are going up to, when a man is pursuing a stranger, and he's going up to a woman at a social event or wherever he meets her, he is not looking at her like, okay, I am going to make her my buddy, or I should make her my buddy before I make her my wife. He's not doing that. That's not reality. You're not going up to a girl and decide, hey, I'm going to be her friend.
Okay.
You're going up there looking like, look at that booty, look at that breast.
Okay.
That's what you're doing.
Okay. Well, let's bring the caller back on the line, because I'm sure the caller's sitting there. He probably got a lot of stuff to say, but the way that this is working, we have to turn one down and turn the other up. So caller, I know you got something to say. We just gonna go right on into the third question after I give you another chance to say something. So what else is on your mind?
Yes, I want to say that the courting process is important. I think I heard somebody say something about or make an inference that perhaps it's European or white. That's not true, because in very ancient Middle Eastern culture, that's there was a courting process, and all of that is critical to what develops the relationship. Here's the other thing: there has to be love that gets developed in that relationship. It's the love that's the glue. It's the love that's the foundation. I think one of your questions is, can you have a marriage with no love? And the answer is, you cannot have a marriage without love. Because if love is not part of that relationship, you don't have a relationship. And I think that, and let me just say this, you said a key point, that the courting, there should be a destination point in the courting. I don't agree with that. Well, I'm gonna get with this girl, I'm gonna get with him, I'm gonna get with her. All right, now that went over, that relationship's over in about 5 weeks. Now let me go to woman number 2, let me go to woman number 5. No, it's not about dating this person, and that person, and the next person. What's the logic in that? No, there has to be a purpose in it. So this is, and because people are just only after the flesh, only after the temporal stuff, this is why many women, particularly black women, are frustrated, because women are designed to be nurturers, designed for relationships.
What you say?
And culturing relationships. So when that's not in the process, and this is the part of the problem, that many men are out of place. So therefore, the woman is looking for a few good men, someone to affirm her, someone to have a relationship with. And many brothers aren't really into that, because unfortunately, again, it goes back to what is it to be a man? What does that really mean?
Okay.
Does it mean
thank you so much for that, caller.
I love you.
We're going to